Hey everybody, Jim Perry here. So I just got done with a very short hunt looking for modern change, and I'll explain what I do with that in just a bit, but I'd like to share a quick story with you first. Last Saturday I got up really early and went to a nearby neighborhood park with the intent of searching it for coins and any toys that might be there. So I focused on a very small area, maybe 20 feet by 40 feet, that I knew there was a sandbox located there in the 70s when I was a small child and I played there. And my intent was to hunt for maybe an hour or until the neighborhood kids started showing up, and then I'd make my way on home and get on to other things with family for the day. And as I realized that there were some kids out and about, was packing my things up and again intending to get home before drawing any attention when I caught the attention of a young boy, maybe I would say probably 12 years old. Came running up to me and asked me if I could stay there for a couple of minutes for him to go home and grab his metal detector because he wanted to show it to me. So I waited a few minutes, and several minutes later he came back with his bounty hunter, and we visited for a bit and detected for a bit and talked about metal detecting for a bit before I needed to make my way on to other things for the day. So the thing is, metal detecting, even though it can be a very individual activity and hobby, is also meant to be shared. I'm a member of the Zumber Valley Treasure Hunters Club. I'm able to share in that respect, but it's also meant to be shared with anyone who will listen that would be interested in taking on the hobby. Which leads me to the topic of this video. A few of the events that I have planned for this year. I've got a little more than a year under my belt of detecting. I've had a little bit of beginner's luck, and now I feel like it's time to start sharing my knowledge, my limited base of knowledge, with anyone else who want to listen. So I've got the following events planned for this year. Starting next weekend, I will be having a monthly class on Saturday mornings through Stewartville Community Ed. The class is available to both students and families to show up at Florence Park, where there will be a seated hunt where there's no digging involved, but just a quick introduction to what metal detecting is all about and how to dig a proper plug, the code of ethics, and just a real quick introduction with the intent, if anyone wants to learn more, that I'll contact them, we'll hook up, and we'll see about getting out for some real detecting. Second, on June 12th here in Stewartville, I'll be hosting a day with a detectorist, and members of our local club, the Zumber Valley Treasure Hunters Club, will be there as well in order to share their expertise and have extra detectors with. And this event is completely free and open to the public. For the morning, we will be doing an introduction, having different stations with really cool finds, detectorists telling stories, again, the code of ethics, how to dig a proper plug, and then it'll be a seated hunt as well. This is what the coins that I collect are being used for. I've got probably 1,000, maybe 1,200 separate coins that I'll be seeding the different parks with for these events. So those that show up will have some immediate success. They'll know that it's been dropped for them, but at least so they get an idea of what it feels like to find something for real. Third, I will be participating in the ZED Summer Academy. The Zumber Education District puts on a summer academy for gifted and talented students in June each year. And my proposal this year was accepted. So for 1 week in June, I will be working with elementary students and offering 2 separate sessions each morning on how to metal detect with them. Fourth, I've been invited to do the same through Family Service Rochester and the United Way. And they have many programs that help children and families experiencing any kind of crisis. It could be anything from poverty to abuse to neglect to any kind of chaos in the family. And their intent is to help students and their families move forward to be happy, healthy, and productive. So for about 5 weeks over the summer, 2 or 3 times a week, I'll be leading a metal detecting class for students, mainly in a low-income area, students that would be at risk of dropping out of school, and helping them pick up a new hobby and maybe take an interest in it. So after I started announcing a few of these events, a couple individuals decided that they wanted to reach out to me, and they have other items, other treasures that they would like for me to have in order to be able to seed the areas that we'll be using for these classes and camps. And I'm very grateful for that, which got me to thinking, if any of you have items that you would like to donate for me to seed. I do know there's some older coins coming my way, some relics coming my way, but if any of you have any items that you are interested in donating for me to be able to seed these areas with, again, sometimes for families, the one is for gifted and talented students, but the majority of the detecting classes I'll be doing this summer are for students who are in a tough place. They come from families where having good, wholesome, outdoor, healthy hobbies and activities is not the main focus. For a lot of these kids, the focus of their life is survival, just getting through day to day. If you would like to help out by donating of any items that I could see these areas with, be it valuable or not, I would be more than grateful for that. On the same theme, there's a limited number of students I could do this with. I do have several extra metal detectors that I'm able to bring with and loan out for these students to be able to use, because who wants to show up for class if they can't have a detector in hand? If any of you have a detector that's old or laying around or you're not using and you are interested in donating that for me to be able to use, I would also be forever grateful for that. Again, it is limited the number of students that I can help through these camps based on the equipment that I have available. I'm grateful for the equipment I do have, and I'll be using that. But again, if you're interested in helping out in that respect, I would be forever grateful as well. Metal detecting for me is normally a very individual activity, but through these other ways of giving back and helping others learn more about the hobby, and me maybe sharing a little bit of inspiration to get them interested, has become a very, very, very important part of the hobby to me as well. It's through sharing that I find joy in the hobby. In addition to the finds, being able to share that with others has become a very major part of what I do. Something to consider today. If you're interested in contacting me, I'll leave my email at the end of the video here. Go ahead and let me know what you might have. If you're interested in helping out with any of those events, you can also contact me as well. Something to consider today. Thanks again for joining me. Hope to see you soon.